Everyone, doing a weekly outlook. So parsing it today is there's a few things I'm looking at that I want to share with you guys as we move into this week. So before I cover this price action, I want to also remind you guys that tomorrow in the US is a public holiday. Okay, it is Memorial Day, so you can somewhat expect the US session, or at least the New York session, to be somewhat quiet. Okay, but I believe normal. Everything else should be normal. Asian session should be normal. London should be normal. I'm treating it as a normal day. Okay, I'm just aware that it might be quieter. I'm still looking for trades as per normal. I will not let a holiday change the way I trade. I'm just understanding that if it's quiet, I know why. Also coming into this week, it is the first Friday of the new month. New month being we're going into end of May, beginning of June, right? So that means first Friday is what? It's non-farm payroll. So make sure you guys are aware of that, as you might see some manipulation on Friday. Non-farm payroll, otherwise known as NFP, is the largest news release out of the US, and it's always on the first Friday of every new month. Now, if you rewind the clock back a few years ago, it used to be this really scary thing. No one would trade it because of the crazy volatility and manipulation that was there. However, these days, honestly, it's pretty hit or miss. Okay, I trade it like a normal day, but I definitely am aware of the possibility of some big spikes or some big moves. So technicals, in my opinion, always play out. I kind of view it as like 90-95 technicals, 90 to 95% technicals, 5-10% of fundamentals. Fundamentals being another word for news, right? So don't let that scare you, but just make sure you guys have your stop losses in, have your risk management under control, and you don't get caught up in all the possible manipulation that might occur. Okay, I've seen a lot of big fake moves on NFP. Like, let's say the dollar could just shoot down and then just shoot right up. You don't know. Let's have a look at some pairs. Okay, having a look at something like let's have a look at the dollar first. So dollar, big move off of 1.04, 1.05 region. As I've been saying now for a few weeks, even though the dollar is very bullish, if it was going to turn around, it was going to do it at this 104, 105 region. Yearly highs. Okay, we've not been back at this level, actually back at 104 since back in, I believe it was like January, December, of 2002. So long time, 20 years. Okay, so there's a few different ways we could see this play out. Is historically, what has the price done? It's pushed up in this region and then just fallen. Okay, so it's likely this could be like a weekly triple top, and we could just see this thing absolutely tank from here, which would be great, right? We'd be just able to ride the USD pairs up, like a Euro USD, things like that, like GBP USD. Otherwise, what we could see is actually this have a bit of a pullback and maybe push back up into here, and then we can kind of see how it reacts. It might continue higher. This could be a new higher high, higher low forming. We don't want to get married to the bias of it moving lower. Okay, you have to understand that anything can happen. Like, again, if it can do this, we could see this whole move. See how it pushed up, fell back down, and then pushed up. Of course, this is the weekly time frame. So this is like 3 to 6 months of price action. We could see this play out long term. Otherwise, what I'm sort of looking for right now coming to this week is I'm looking for it to retest this 101.8 region before we move down into 101, and then from there we can see if it's going to break lower or find some support here and then begin to move higher. So that's what I'm sort of favoring as we move into this week on the dollar. 80 USD. So what I'm actually looking at for a few USD pairs, like for example on NZD USD as well, very similar. I'm looking for something a bit similar. So overall, I'm favoring more upside. Okay, I'm favoring upside on this pair, but you guys have to remember that just because you favor an overall upside on the weekly or on the daily doesn't mean you won't get little downside moves, whether it's 100, 200, 300 pip moves, and then the upside move. So what I'm actually favoring right now is a possible sell. Again, possible sell. There's a difference in a setup and a trade. Okay, what I'm looking for is a move up into this 0.71 sort of 700, 800 region, and then you might get a possible sell down in the 0.712, if not back down into 0.703, and then you might see a move higher. So what I'd be looking at for you guys moving into the first half of the week is see if price can push up into here, give a really good bearish price action. When I say bearish price action, I mean price action sort of like this, patterns, big bearish rejections, and then we can look for is a possible sell from here down into here, easy 60, 70 pip move, if not, further down. And then from there, you can begin to possibly look for a buy hedge either off of this level here or off this level. Now, obviously, there's always the possibility that price could just blow through this level and do something like this, which would be ideal. Okay, something sort of like this. That would be ideal. Okay, but definitely keep in mind right now we are favoring the short-term sell-off move down back into 0.711, if not 0.70200 region down here. So keep that in mind. CAD JPY, let's have a look. So on Friday, I was updating in the public Discord. We were looking for sells. However, there's just no bearish price action at all, okay? Just nothing. I personally, when it was down here, I was like, cool, let's watch price here. And then price just blew up. And I did update saying there's no trade, obviously. So what I'd be looking for here, guys, is right now, just leave this pair alone. It's floating around 100. What I'd be looking for is this to pull back. Maybe Monday, maybe Tuesday, probably Tuesday, considering Monday's gonna be a public holiday. But again, anything can happen. And this to pull back, retest this for a possible buy. Okay. If it pushes up into here, you can look for sells. However, I do favor this sort of move as we kind of faked out and never retested it. So I'd be looking for a retest of this 99 sort of 200 region here. So make sure you guys watch for that. Euro JPY. Now, many of you caught this, which was amazing to see. Okay, so this is the setup that I shared last week. So doing about 140, 150 pips. So right now, the guys keep holding this. I do see more upside for this pair. Okay, but what I'd be looking for is let's just understand what price is doing. It's very much in this sort of range, right? We're kind of just bouncing between these two levels. So what I would do is I'd be looking for this to push up into here. And if you start seeing some rejection or exhaustion, I would consider closing most, if not at least half. I'd say 50 to 75% of your buys. Let's say you're up 4%, maybe just close 3%, leave 1% running. And that way, if it breaks higher, you can add positions. Otherwise, you can look to possibly hedge it from here and continue to trade this range. So what I'd be looking for you guys is see if this can push up into this 136 sort of 800 region. If you start seeing a lot of bearish rejection, look for the possible sell from there back down into here. Otherwise, what I'd be looking for is if you don't get that price action, look for a break, retest, and a move higher. Okay, that's what I'd be looking for there. USD JPY, so a lot of you guys are still holding this. So reaching around a 1 to 8.34 for nearly 300 pips. Right now floating around 225 pips, 230 pips for 1 to 6.38, 6.4. So really not much happened on this pair last week. As I said, look for last week, look for a retest here of this 127,500 sort of region. Although it wicked up in, it hasn't really done much. Okay, so what I'd be looking for here, first of all, I would consider, for those of you who are holding this, I would consider closing some of this. So let's say you're up 6.4%. I'd take at least close half. Reason for that is we're kind of back above 127, which to me screams like we might see a larger push higher. Even if this level doesn't break, you'd still want to be a bit more conservative because with NFP this week, you could see a big move up, right? And looking at a few other JPY pairs, I do favor more upside, even though I see the dollar coming down. We could see, a weak dollar, but an even weaker JPY, which means we could see this push higher. So what I'd be looking for this week is see if this can come up, retest here. Make sure you close some of this at market open, and then you can look for a move lower, back down into this 126 region. Otherwise, if price breaks, just look for something like this. Okay, look for price to break higher and move back up into this 129, 350, 500 region. Okay. Last pair I want to cover, guys, easy money here. Okay, easy money. So 2 people from the public Discord messaged me last week saying they caught USD JPY, Euro JPY, and they traded 2 trades on GA, all based off of what I share here. Guys, easy money. There's your buy there, clear double bottom. There's your buy just from there. Okay, down in here in the lower time frames, that's an easy 160 pips, and then boom, go to the lower time frames. You would have caught in like the 30 minute, the 15, easy sell from in here. Okay, something like this. Boom. So that's that's almost 4%. That's almost under 4% with a little bit more running. Close most of that. That's 3. That's 4%. That's 7%. Plus the Euro JPY trade, plus the USD JPY trade. Like I had 2 people message me last week saying they got passed their challenge through FTMO just using the public Discord, which is amazing to see. So guys, as I've been saying, continue to trade the range, okay? I do see the range eventually getting broken. We might break it this week, but until it breaks, continue to trade it, okay? This thing could be sideways for another week, another 2 weeks, another month. You don't know. I've seen ranges that go for like 2 months, okay? You don't know how long it's going to last. Just trade it until you see it break out. Okay, so what I would want to see here coming this week is if you get any bullish price action like this, because see how it's making like this double bottom, look for bullish price action for a buy up into here, and then you can look for a sell once it reaches up in here. Otherwise, if it doesn't give the price action for a buy, that means it's most likely going to close below, retest, and you're going to see this start to move lower. Especially if we do see your Australian strength. We could see, AUD strength coming to the market, which would push GBP AUD down, or we could see GBP weakness, which I don't think we'll see, but you never know. Okay, so make sure you guys watch for that. Have a great week, guys. Make sure about everything risk management, keep it in check. Trade with stop losses, guys. 1% is what I suggest. Okay, focus on growing your capital. But as always, guys, I'm here to help. Message me through Discord or through Instagram, and I will always try and help where I can. Last thing I want to say is, guys, right now there is a sale on for the advanced course through the website. Okay, 20% off. It runs until tomorrow. Tomorrow being Memorial Day. So it runs until 4 p.m. Central Time, which is the time market closes, okay? So that's 20% off. Use the code USA20, USA-20. I'll put it in the post for this, okay? Have a great week, guys, and I will do another video on Wednesday for the midweek update.